Hello, I'm Shane Told from Silverstein, and you are watching A Beautiful Place to Drown, track by track. Bad Habits, track one. We weren't sure what track one was going to be. That's always a big decision, too. But what I love about this song is it comes out swinging. Starts with a chorus, big bass tone, goes into it's a banger of a song. So, I don't know. I felt like it was a great way to set the tone. I kind of fought for it to be the first track. And I just love how this song is just kind of an exciting part after an exciting part. Lyrically, it's kind of fun, and a little bit cute, some of the lyrics. And then all of a sudden, there's just this ripping guitar solo that comes in that Aaron from Intervals played. And, yeah, he shreds harder than any of us. And it was a great fit. The way we write songs in this band is we're always trying to write all the songs as potential singles, and this album had so many. And even when I look at the singles we're releasing, I'm like, geez, I don't know, maybe we should have released other ones. So it's always hard to pick, but for me, Bad Habits is a song that spoke to me right off the bat. Really happy that it's setting the tone for the record. Burn It Down, a song that we actually wrote aside from the record last year. And, originally it wasn't going to be on the album. It was just going to be a standalone single to kind of tide over the fans a little bit until we could get this full-length album out. So we had a lot of bits and pieces of songs written, most of which ended up on the album. But it's really a difficult thing when you're going to release a song that's just on its own, that doesn't have anything else to supplement it. Like, if it's a poppy song, people are going to think you went pop. If it's a heavy song, people are going to think it's too heavy. So what do you do? How do you do that with a single? So we came up with Burn It Down, and it kind of has a little bit of everything. Paul Mark wrote the music, and I said to him, I think it kind of sounds like a bit of a Billy Talent vibe, which, funny now, I don't hear that anymore. But the song didn't have a bridge. So we put together this bridge, and we were kind of wondering what could take the song over the top again. And we called up our buddy Caleb from Beartooth, and we said, hey, we got a song for you. Are you down? And pretty much before we even got a response, it was recorded just the way you hear it. He absolutely crushed it. So, Burn It Down is done really, really awesome for us. Where Are You? For me, I think this might be the sleeper track. It's up pretty high in the track listing, I guess, because I think we all knew the potential of this song. But as of right now, don't know. Maybe it's going to be a single. The record isn't out yet. We don't know yet what the fans are going to think about this song. But I think the catchiness is undeniable. And I love that big riff in the chorus. It's kind of like a genty, just riff, but it's got so much groove. I'm just jamming out to it right now, just in my head. So, Where Are You, I think, is a super strong track, and one I think we knew right away that was going to be, something special. And it's just about, talking about, what songs are about, too. I mean, everyone can relate to Where Are You. It's that song where, that time when, you have these strong feelings for this person, but they're not there, and you're like, well, where are they? They're not here. Are they with someone else? What are they doing? And that, that pit in your stomach. And I think that's a timeless feeling, unfortunately. Infinite is it's a different song for us. I think when we rolled it out, when we were working on the demos and stuff, I was a little freaked out about the intro because it almost sounds like a reggaeton song or like something that you would hear on like a club playlist or, something like that. Of course, once I sing on a song, it just ends up sounding like Silverstein anyway. I wasn't sure about this one, how it was going to come out. And once we put it together, I think, both us and the label, we really felt like this was something different for us, but also just a really, really great song with a lot of energy. It kind of tackles, sort of the central theme of the record on the mental health side of things, which is that tunnel vision feeling that, a lot of people that suffer from anxiety get, where in that moment you can't imagine, being okay. You can only remember what is going on right now and how you're feeling, and how that, can feel infinite, like you're trapped in this moment. Aaron from Underoath's been a friend of ours for Well, since the first time we came to the UK, actually. We came over with them. It was both our first times leaving the continent. And we flew over here to the UK with Underoath. We shared a bus with them in the Hurt Process. 21 of us on an 18-bunk slave ship bus. 3 people slept on the floor, the lounge. Underoath hang their sweaty-ass clothes in the lounge of the bus. Oh, it was a nightmare. We drank 3 cases of Jägermeister in like 4 days or something, like just obscene. Yeah, it was a hell of a time. So we've been friends ever since, and we really thought his voice so iconic, and just thought it was perfect for this song. Shapeshift, another one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites, and a track that is about kind of the political landscape of what's going on out there. These politicians, and very well being in the UK and what's going on currently, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about this. You kind of wonder yourself when you watch TV or you hear them speak, do they actually believe what they're saying? Or are they just trying to pull the wool over the people's eyes? And, it is interesting, the rhetoric, how even so many of us are smart and so many of us understand what's going on, and people fall for it anyways, and it can be so powerful. And that line in the song, I never stood a chance here, did I? That line, it really is about how you kind of know they're going to win. And it can be a really, really defeating feeling, politically, like whether you're talking about, what's going on here with Brexit or what's going on in America. And that's, I think, generally that's what the song's about, and we've tackled some political subject matter before, but, right now, geez, if not now, then when? All on Me, definitely, I think, is the biggest departure for us on this record. Even just the fact that this song was written and the recording, the basis of it is a synth, a keyboard, which isn't something we used in the past to write material. We've always written songs on guitars or with drums maybe. So I think right off the top, that sets the tone for this song. And, just the electronic drums coming in is different. And, I think that this song, it's got a great spot kind of in the middle of the record, as a bit of a change. But I also think that if you look deeper just into the song and the heartbreaking story that it tells, I think it's just a really, really great piece. And then there's a saxophone solo as well that comes in and will melt your face. So we got this guy, Saxel Rose. I assume that's not his real name. If it is and he turned out into a saxophone player, that's amazing. And he came out and he shredded on this thing. And it was like, for me, and what I envisioned in my head and what it actually came was exactly perfect, spot on. So thanks to Saxel Rose for playing that. Madness, the start of side 2. And that's something that I guess these days a lot of people don't think about, is making a record for side 1, you flip over the record, and side 2. We've always, worried about that when we make records. That's the way we listen to records. So it's important for us to start side 2 with a bang, and Madness was one of the early songs written. And we always thought it was a special one, a little bit different. Some of the chorus, for example, like a lot of people hear that song and go, oh, I didn't see that coming. So it's a song we really like, and having Princess Nokia come in on it was a really cool feature. The song and the subject matter, it being kind of relationshipy, we really wanted to have a female voice on it. And her being a huge fan of us, we called her up and she was down to do it. And she came in, she wrote the words, she did the verse, spat the verse, that's what you say, and absolutely crushed it. And it's a really cool tune. Say Yes, very poppy one, and one that I think, again, when I first heard this song, I was like, oh, okay, we're going there. I just think it's like a really fun song. I wasn't sure originally where this was going to fit into the record, but I think we found a really nice home for it, and I know Billy, it's his favorite. Stop. I think this is going back a little bit more to our old vibe, of our band, like definitely a bit of a throwback track and some of the rhythms and stuff in this one. And again, like just a banger. A song that I think could have been in the one hole on this album. A fun track again. September 14th. So this song, if you listen to the intro, there's a clip, and it's something we lifted off YouTube, and it's from the 1969 Vietnam draft lottery in the U.S. And a lot of people, probably especially people outside America like me and yourselves, if you're in Europe or the UK, whichever, because they're not the same anymore, those, not that I know they weren't always the same, but I'm making political waves here. What they did in 1969 is they had to draft people for the Vietnam War. And how they did it was they took 366 pieces of paper, they put them in 366 plastic pills, and they put them in a giant bowl, and they stirred the bowl around, and they picked out a date. And that date was the birthdays of everyone who was going to get drafted. And they put this on national TV and on the radio, and this was a whole thing. And the first date that was drawn was September 14th. And just thinking about that, when I learned about this whole process, how crazy that is. Can you imagine if that's your birthday and all of a sudden and just someone opens this thing and just by fate you're going to war? It's really, really intense. And to think that it was only 1969, that's only 12 years before I was born. It's just crazy. So I think that story just compelled that song to be written the way it was written, and take the human side of that event. Coming down, another interesting song, the way it was written. It was kind of evolved. It kind of was taken from a chord and lyric, just from chords and lyrics, and evolved into this rock song. And Paul Mark put this together. He did a really great job. It was a cool challenge for him. And I think, lyrically, it's all about, really strong imagery, of looking down on this, high above the city streets. It's all about falling down and going down and looking down, and that anxiety and that fear that you feel. Like, I'm not particularly scared of heights, I guess, but when I'm on the edge of like a cliff and there's sharp rocks at the bottom, or a building, or I think everyone has that feeling, and I think that's just the vibe of the song. And I love the bridge in this song too. It really is, again, a really cool kind of throwback to the mid 2000s scene, a little bit of a nod to some of our peers and ourselves from back then, and a fun track. Take What You Give. Yeah, it's a poppy one, but we really felt like it tied the album together in a nice way. It gave it this sort of vibe of just pushing it away, accepting, that at the end of the day, you can do, whatever, but you are at the mercy of other people, and it doesn't matter how generous you are. And I think we all believe in karma, up to a point, but it doesn't always work out, in the fact that you give 100 and you get 100 back. So that's what the song's about. And with Pierre from Simple Plan jumping on, again, a really, really great old friend of ours that's been in my life for like 15 years. I've known Pierre, and he's just such a kind person and a kind soul and amazing songwriter, musician. So to have him jump on the song and provide that part in the bridge was a really cool way to cap off the record. That's the record, A Beautiful Place to Drown. March 6th, it's out. It might even be out now. I don't know when you're watching this, but hey, check it out. We're really stoked on it. Thank you.